New bullet journal, kind of an interesting setup. Today's going to be an interesting video, I think. Hey everybody, today I am setting up my brand new bullet journal for October 2018. I was able to get 2 months into, and I mean, I'm saying this and I'm filming this mid-September because I'm getting ready for my trip, but even now you can see how chunky this got with all the memory keeping. Memory keeping made this past bullet journal last for 2 months, and so I'm starting to fill another one out now. I got the gray with the yellow accent scribbles that matter. I've gotten this one before. I wanted another white one, but I was not quick enough to order it, and it sold out, so I'm gonna go with the gray one because I like this one. I like them all. So I'm just gonna get this one opened up, crack open the new journal, a beautiful feeling if ever there was one. So the first thing I would normally do now is put a key in for my time tracking, but I'm not going to because right now I remember everything. I haven't changed colors in several months for my time tracking. I'm not going to mess with the key because I don't really need it. It's just extraneous paper usage. I am going to put my year in pain right here, and I'm not going to fill it in today because, like I said, this is actually mid-September as I'm getting this set up for next month. I will fill it all in when I start October off because I don't want to fill it in twice, and I don't want to take this one and the old one up with me to Oregon. Some of you think I should just cut it out and transfer it from one to the other, but I'm a masochist, so I'm not going to do that. Notice I picked different things to write on these. Just changes on how I'm feeling at any given time. So the life with lumpy, angry kidneys. This is basically a year in pixels type situation. I decided in the name of using my shit, I'm going to take this Erin Condren sticker kit that I have. It's the Floating Florals sticker sheet. And I'm going to utilize this for both my master home task list, which is going to go here, and my master life task list, which is going to go here. Both of these are going to get copied over from the old bullet journal. I'm just going to get them set up, and like the same with this, I'll fill it in as I get closer to the beginning of the month. I left myself the least space for kitchen because the kitchen has it's its own category, but there are less projects for the kitchen than there are in any of the other 3 categories. I like how this looks though. It's nice to use some stickers up. And I'm going to date it so that when I look at this, I know when this list was made. And now for this page, I'm going to take this fatter washi and run this along the bottoms. Oh, let's make it the tops. So there we go, house task list and then a master task list. I can't even say it, task list. Anyway, with those done, now I'm going to skip forward about 1, 2, 3 pages. And you may wonder, you may ask, why are we skipping forward so far? Well, allow me to tell you. So what I'm going to do before I do anything else is I'm going to find my glue. I'm going to glue these 2 pages together here. And then I'm going to glue these 2 pages together here. But I'm also likely going to glue these 2 and these 2 as well. But for now, I am going to stick some other paper underneath there as a buffer. And you're wondering, Cindy, what in the hell are you doing? What in the holy hell? Actually, you probably may have some idea of what I'm doing. If you haven't figured it out by now, I'm going to watercolor. Now, I don't usually watercolor in my bullet journal. I've tried it here and there, and I didn't like how it warped the paper, but I'm doing this for a special reason. It's October, or it will be October, the month of Halloween. Halloween paintings are some of my favorite to do. I love to paint silhouette style. I did a painting recently with my patrons that made me really happy. I've done one before on the channel that you've seen, And I'm going to recreate something similar to that, just kind of a landscapey background with like a silhouette on top painted in India ink. So watercolor and India ink. I'm going to be punishing the Scribbles That Matter, the new journal. And then that will be my cover spread for October. So that's what we're going to do. I have clean water. I have a bunch of watercolor brushes, some of my favorites. These pigeon litter brushes are some of my favorites. And then I also have somewhere, maybe not in this handful, but in some handful, some of my brushes I like to use with India ink. And then for paints, I'm going to be using this dark purple Amsterdam in the Prima Watercolors Odyssey palette. And then I'm going to be using probably Ink, Royal, Mystic, and maybe Fairy Tale or Frida from the Jane Davenport Brights palette. I'm not going to be using oranges or reds or yellows like I usually do. It's going to almost entirely be purpley background. And I'm doing that because I want to use purples and blacks for my colors for the month. I have a whole washi tape selection of Simply Gilded washi and other washi with black and gray and purple and hollow foil, and that's kind of what I'm going to be using for the month of October. Spooky. The first step I'm going to do is lay down a wash of purples going kind of from dark to light. One thing to remember with watercolors is that they always dry lighter than when you lay them down. So if you want darker areas, it's good to go back in and concentrate that a bit more. Although you may wind up, especially if you're using paper like what I'm using here, really making the paper buckle. So just be prepared for that. I'm okay with that. That's why I did I left so many extra pages so that I could do that. Although I haven't put the India ink on yet though, so I could be eating my words in a little bit. So the paper is pretty much thoroughly saturated and I'm happy with this background. So now I'm going to run a heat gun over it really quick to get it as dry as possible before I hit it with the India ink. Still a little bit moist, but I think I'm just gonna go ahead because I'm a rebel. So the India ink I use is the Speedball Super Black India ink. I order it in the jug because it's more cost effective that way. I just have this cup that it's my permanent India ink cup. I just pour whatever's left back into the bottle so I don't waste any of it. And this bottle will last me for frickin' ever. Remember, it stains, so be very careful if you use it. Now, before I actually go in with the ink, I'm going to give like a brief little sketch of what I want in here so that I can go and ink. Because for the silhouettes, I like to have a like crisp line, and it's a lot easier for me to paint a crisp line if I have a guide in there. I know I don't use pencil very often, but this is one of the times I find it to be handy, and you just paint right over the pencil. I've got kind of a basic pencil sketch laid in. I'm going to take this brush here. This is a number 6 round brush. I don't remember the brand. I think it's Artist Loft. I could be wrong though, or maybe Craft Smart. This was one of my favorite brushes for watercolors, but when I upgraded to the pigeon letters brushes, this became a sacrifice brush, and I have sacrificed it to the gods of India ink. So the first thing I like to do is go in and outline everything, then I start to fill it in. And then when it gets to the bottom of the painting, I like to kind of blow it out and let some of the color show through again. But in the center area, I like it to be opaque. So I work quickly and thickly. That's what she said. I let this dry. Now it's a little curly, as you can see. I've kind of, the pages are super wonky, but it's the exact kind of situation that I wanted. This kind of gives you an idea of what the backside of these pages look like. And I'm curious to see how bad it might have bled into the rest of the book, but I don't see a lot of it. So here maybe, but other than that, not really. So we'll see, I guess, as I work through it. So I'm going to remove all of this, and I am going to glue down these pages as well. Hopefully when I close the book and it stays closed it'll be closed for a good week and a half while I'm gone. So hopefully that'll flatten the pages out a little bit. Maybe I'll wait to glue these again until the pages have flattened out, but I will glue on the next, like this side and the other side. But before I do anything else, I want to write October on here. I'm going to write it in Sharpie so it really pops, which is why I shoved this paper back under here in case it bleeds again. I almost ran out of room. That's okay. Now I'm going to add some white accents, and I'm going to use this Uniball Signo white gel pen. It's the broad one, best white gel pen out there. The white Jelly Roll also works good, but tends to skip more. I smeared a little, so I covered it in with black. There we go. I think that is going to be my October cover page. I'm really happy with how it turned out. It's got the exact kind of spooky situation I'm going for. Last month, I did an intentions page for the month and a page with my challenges on it, and that worked really well. So I'm going to do that again, but instead of, Planner Society washi, which is what I used last time, I'm going to bust out some spooky washi tape. This cobweb washi tape that's from Scotch Brand, I think, and then this ghost washi tape, which is simply gilded. I'm going to run the cobwebs across both sides of the page and then the ghost just on the intentions list side, and then I will have room for my challenges on the other side. I'm going to get the lettering done. I will tell you, I have been struggling to get washi down lately anyway. And for some reason, it's not going down straight and it's not sticking everywhere I'm using it for some reason. But then also having it be all lumpy from the watercolor page, I'm really hoping this flattens out because otherwise I might regret doing this. I'm going to letter on here using the Tombow dual tip Fudenosuke pen and potentially also maybe adding a purple sort of situation, like a lavender kind of shadow onto it with this Tombow twin tone marker. So this list, I gave more space for work because that's just how things are. Will be for me to add my intentions, and I'll do that at the beginning of October when I have a list of what I need to do for October. And then here I'm going to put my challenges. If you are looking for my challenges, you can find them in the Llamas Love Lettering Facebook group or at cindyguentert-baldo.com. My lettering challenge and my doodle challenge for next month, which are both kind of Halloween themed. And now I am going to set up 3 pages as I have been doing for my challenges. There's my 3 challenge pages. So I did a weekly upkeep, a daily weekly upkeep situation, and then some stats for the month. And I'm going to not bother with the upkeep page because I didn't ever reference it again except for once in a while. But I am going to put in a stats page and And that's going to be it, I think. So we're going to put that here. I think I'm going to use this black confetti Simply Gilded washi and this other black washi I got from the dollar spot, which there's hardly any on this roll, which is why it's so cheap, I think. Here is my stats page for October. So we have all of the things I need to start the month out. I will be doing Plan As You Go month starting October 1st. So you're going to get to see me fill this out every single day. So you have that to look forward to. In the meantime, I am still out of town because by the time you watch this, I'm out of town because my sister is getting a transplant. Hopefully everything went well. I don't know at the time I'm filming this because I'm not, like I said, Nostradamus. What I would like to know from you is, if you celebrate Halloween, what was your favorite costume? Mine was probably the year I was Cruella de Vil, and I actually cut my hair short and dyed half of it black and sprayed the other half white so that I could full on do her hair. I'm 6'2", so I think the effect was really cool. Tell me about your favorite Halloween costume in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, you guys. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you next time.